Welcome everybody and good morning. My name is Bruce Ferguson with Bunzl, Canada, and we figured 11:30 in the morning, just before lunch, was a great time to talk about washrooms. What do you think? Absolutely. What better time to talk about washrooms, right? Who here has washrooms in their facilities or in their buildings? Yeah. Who here never has any trouble with their washrooms whatsoever? Oh, no hands? Oh, a little consensus there. Absolutely. So what we're here to talk about is an innovation that's related to helping us to take a holistic approach to how we maintain our washrooms and utilizing the Internet of Things. And you know, the Internet, that thing that's going to be on computer someday, I think, right? Utilizing this in order to be able to improve our efficiencies and improve how we maintain our washrooms in our facilities and in our different environments. So we take a look, right? Will people really avoid businesses, right, with dirty washrooms? Right? Obviously, you bet they will, right? We're all familiar with the whole restaurant stories, right? You go into a restaurant, what do you think the kitchen looks like if you have washrooms that aren't in good shape? So restaurants, 79% of people, right, say that they will avoid restaurants, right, if they don't like the cleanliness of the washrooms. And you'll see that over the last number of years, a lot of the chains and a lot of the restaurants out there are focusing a lot more on their restrooms for that particular reason. Healthcare facilities, 77%. Hotels, 79% of people, right? We've all seen the stories on the hotels and such as well too. Gas stations, the dreaded gas station washroom. How many people have had one of those stories before, right? Right, absolutely. Retail stores, though, getting more into the where the public attends the retail stores, 45% of people, right, will not shop at a certain store if they don't like the cleanliness of their washrooms or if they have a bad washroom experience. Even car dealers and supermarkets are not immune to this issue as well too. So what about employee and tenant retention, right? Do dirty restrooms, right, affect that too? Show of hands for who thinks it does. Absolutely, right, no question. In fact, take a little look at the facts. An unpleasant experience due to the condition of public restrooms, right, affects their view of building management for 70% of people surveyed. Right, and we know, right, with washrooms, a lot of complaints come from washrooms. 78% of employees say the condition of their office restroom negatively affects their opinion of their employer, right? And we see this on a regular basis as well too, right? How many times you've gone into your washroom at work, right, and had that issue as well too. 50% of people who encounter a dirty restroom would discuss it with friends and family, right? What is that other thing out there, that other platform that might be a bit of an issue too, that you might see issues with washrooms? Social media? Yeah, something like that as well too. So not just discuss it, this can actually get published as well too and get out there quickly as well too, which we see. Right? Potential tenants rank clean restrooms even higher than their listed desired move-in incentives, all right, than even free rent, right, in order to make sure that the restrooms are clean and ongoing clean as well too. Because people associate that, right, with health, with their health as well. So, what do restroom patrons hate the most? What do you think the top one is? What do you think the top thing is that people, the top complaints that come about a restroom? Oh, something in the toilet close? Yeah. What else? No toilet paper, no supplies. Absolutely, that tops the list is no supplies. Right? Anybody here ever had a call for no supplies in their washroom? Right, usually an unhappy patron, especially if it's toilet paper, right? Yeah, a little issue there. So empty dispensers is number one, right? Urine odor, or odors in a washroom especially as well too, right? Something that's a huge issue as well. Visibly dirty floors, and visibly dirty floors at times as well too can be what as well? They can also be a safety risk as well too, and a slip hazard. Floors are wet, paper towels on the floors, which become a slip hazard as well too. Dirty or clogged plumbing fixtures, like you said as well too, all right, will be an issue that we'll have. And, you know, not to leave it out, overflowing trash receptacles. Right, people are very picky about their washrooms. We are very picky about our washrooms, and we should be, right, very much so. The bottom line, right, whether you own a facility or maintain one, restrooms can make or break your business. Restaurants see it all the time, right, buildings see it all the time as well too, by the amount of complaints that they get about their washrooms and such as well too. So, you know, companies started to recognize this, right, and started to do things to make their washrooms more appealing and to try to monitor and show people that they were doing something about it. So we start with monitoring systems such as the paper log. Anybody been in a washroom and seen that paper log on the back of the door? Right? Paper log on the wall, somebody's signature on there, written on there to say when the last time it was cleaned. Now, hey, you know, back at the time, this was good. right? This allowed us to let people know that we were paying attention to our washrooms and the cleanliness of our washrooms. Right, a little bit rudimentary though, right? No tracking of consumables, no measurement of traffic volume, right? No monitoring of user satisfaction at all, right? But basically what it did was, right, it allowed us to at least let people know what we were doing, but the information that we gathered from this, right, wasn't very usable, wasn't very readily available. In fact, if you went and looked at a facility that has these on the back of the wall, and you go to the facility manager's desk, you'll probably find a big file about this big with all the paper filed in there that's never been looked at as well too. So not very useful data as well too. But then we get a little more techie. We'd like to take tech to washrooms, right? That's important, that's fun. So we get a little more techie and we do the little happy faces, all right? You might have seen these at the airport, for example, right? And you know, this is great. It's a great step, right? It allows us to at least show patrons that we're concerned about their restroom experience, all right? And so when they leave, they have the option to press the happy face. We probably don't get too many happy faces, right? Because I don't know, if I leave a washroom, if I have a good experience, I'm not necessarily gonna press a happy face, but I definitely would utilize this if I was unhappy. Right, so we get a good idea of the level of complaints that we might be getting and the level of experience of people going through the washrooms. Takes us to the next step, right? Introducing the next generation in restroom monitoring. And this is where we look and we take a look and we say, okay, so how can we utilize, right, technology today, right, to improve what we do in our washrooms, how we maintain them, to improve the customer experience and to improve our customers' experience, and to reduce our costs while we do it as well too, potentially, right? So I'm gonna just show a short video, right, to introduce.
Wanda stands for Washroom Attendant Notification Digital Aid. It's typically placed on the entrance of public restrooms, clearly displaying the last time the restroom was cleaned. Provides customers the opportunity to flag management if there's an issue in the restroom.
Wanda allows customers to request service, which then immediately notifies staff, who then can log into the units and allows operations to better manage their resources and saves time, money, and creates a better user experience in the end.
We can use the heat mapping to show when the washrooms are the most busy, and then we can adjust the cleaning schedules to make sure we have the staff and resources there to clean and make sure that it's maintained at a proper level.
There's a huge cost savings in going digital just by managing the data and the content, but it also tells the customer that you're thinking ahead, that you're looking into the future. The consumer perception of the facility's dedication to keeping it clean and well maintained actually goes up, and as a result gives them a better experience overall.
We love the Vision State Wanda system because it makes us stand out from our shopping center competitors.
All right, Sue, but you know what? It's taking washroom care to the next level, right? It's being more responsive, real-time responsiveness, right, to needs in our washrooms and to when we have customers that are unhappy with the washroom experience, all right, for us to be able to address it, to reduce our complaints, right? It allows us to evaluate our customer experience, improve performance and quality in the washrooms. I like to leverage predictive analytics. We're going to talk more about this, but this really is just the interface. This is the customer interface. This allows us to interface with the customer. Right, allows us the customer to tell us what's going on in the washrooms. It's the background and the analytics in the background. Like that, there we go. It's the analytics in the background that really provide great benefit to us as well too. We can increase our labor efficiencies and we can reduce costs and we can reduce waste as well too. So how does it actually work? How does the system work? Right, so it's an innovative Internet of Things based technology, right, a digital monitoring system, all right, for monitoring the condition of our washrooms, and we allow, right, our patrons and our customers to monitor and to report back to us, right, on what they've seen or what they've seen or what service needs to take place, right? So it tracks and reports on cleaning requirements, all right, response times, cleaning and maintenance activities, all right. So when was the washroom cleaned? Easily displays when the last time was that somebody was in the washroom and actually serviced the washroom as well too. Tracks consumable use. Right, so think about that for the future going forward too, is if we can track consumable use through our washrooms, right, that could actually translate into helping us to manage our consumables and our supplies and our ordering programs as well too. So it tracks consumable use, customer satisfaction, traffic patterns, right? This is a big one. When we add people counters to this, we can also track traffic patterns. There we go. That's a little mouthful for the morning. We can track traffic patterns, right, which help us to better manage how we're policing our washrooms. Because today, if you're in an environment like a shopping mall, for say, You're in an office building that has a public area and a food court area, right? Those types of high traffic environments, you usually are policing your washrooms based on a predetermined schedule, right? Say policing every 2 hours, you have somebody, or every hour you have somebody going in the washroom, right? When in actuality, if we knew when those traffic patterns were, we could actually adjust our cleaning schedules accordingly and be more efficient at what we actually are able to accomplish in our washrooms. Example is we just implemented this at a hospital. And one of the things that they realized when they started managing and watching the traffic patterns was at 8:30 at night, 2 of the washrooms in the admit area, right, had a big spike in traffic. And what they figured out was it was after the visiting hours, right, people were walking through and using those washrooms. And what they also determined from that was that if they adjusted their cleaning schedules slightly, right, they were, one, save a little bit of time, and at the same time, right, they were able to reduce the amount of complaints they were getting for those washrooms as well too, all by just having those analytics in the background, right, to be able to work with. So robust analytics and real-time reporting, very importantly as well too, it's real time, right? Somebody utilizes the system, somebody goes to report that there's an issue in the washroom, right? It's real-time communication to whoever we designate is going to get that communication, or whoever you designate. So toilet tissue out in the washroom, complaint comes in, right? We log when that complaint comes in, right? We're able to dispatch somebody to go to look after that issue. They log in, they've looked after it, and now we know exactly how long our response time was as well too. All right, and to being able to set to fix the issue. So we have the interface, which is the screen, all right, which you can see right here as well too, right? So patrons report service needs, right? So they are able to access this. They touch the screen, right? It's a simple process. I don't know if everybody can see this. I can barely see it, but we touch the screen, right? I'm going to go to the men's washroom. I am going to say that my floors need attention. There was a floor issue, right? They hit submit. And that's been now communicated to whoever we designate to look after the issue, right? Somebody comes to look after and solve the issue. They come in, they take care of the floors, right? We have individual logins for each one of our staff. They're actually monitoring this and doing this so we can track who did the work as well too. Right, they log in. They go into the men's washroom. They say they looked after the floors. They submit, and it's cleared. And then what we find is, and what we know what happens then is all of this data is captured. Right? They also have the ability as well too to enter and to look at and enter if they put any supplies in the washroom as well at that time as well too. So customers can communicate with us when there's issues. Our cleaning staff, right, can report when they fix the issue, and they can also report on what supplies they put in the washrooms. And then we can utilize as management the dashboards that we have and the analytics that we have in order to be able to analyze what's happening out there and how well we are actually doing, what level of complaints we are getting. Available in 15 and 10-inch screens as well too. So for the analytics, right? So cleaning staff enter the information, and then we end up with all this information here. We have our people counters, which allow us to track the traffic that's going through the washrooms, and our analytics that tell us, right, what our patterns are, and basically heat maps it, right, for when we're getting the highest traffic in the washroom, when we're getting the highest amount of alerts or the highest amount of complaints. All right, so we're able to address that and adjust our cleaning patterns and adjust ourselves and adjust what we're doing, right, to be able to better maintain the washrooms and improve that customer experience that we're trying to do as well. Right? As well as the data captures consumables like we talked about, our cleaning activity, end user satisfaction, cleaning frequencies, right? Any supply issues and volume of traffic. All stuff that's really critical for us when we're looking at being more technical or more process driven when we're looking at how we manage our cleaning. Some additional features of the system. I know some people would be looking at this and they would immediately go, ooh, I don't want to touch that. Right? People coming out of the washroom, and we know that hand hygiene is still not the best out there, right? It is treated with New Shield, which is an antimicrobial resistant, right? So it resists the growth of microbes as well too, so it's treated with that. Again, it has automatic staff notification like we've talked about. An alert goes in, automatically whoever we designate, right, to be notified is notified, and results can be, and the issues can be fixed very quickly. Unique employee IDs. We track the employees as well too, like we talked about, right? So we know who's been responding to the alerts and how long it's taken them to respond to the alerts. Customizable task lists. Everything in the system as well too is customizable. So in a men's washroom, we're going to have different tasks than we would have, say, in a woman's washroom. And so we can customize what those tasks are. We can customize what supplies, right, that we're looking to fill as well too. Very easy to access data, and it's real time, I think, is really the key as well too. So once somebody does something in the system, you can go on and see exactly what's going on, right, in a real time setting as well too. And the traffic sensors and the people counters, again, a very big thing for us being able to manage traffic flow, right, and attribute traffic flow to our level of complaints, right, and being able to fix these issues, right, as they come up. So, WandaNEXT installs include, and where would we put this? Well, we put this in high traffic venues. So would you put this in an office building in every single floor, every single washroom, right? Some places are looking at that, right? But more commonly where we see it is more in your public areas where you have high traffic. So in healthcare environments, for example, in their public washrooms or high traffic public washrooms, right? Any sports venues and such as well too. Again, anywhere where we have that high traffic and we have that high level of complaints potentially as well too. So commercial properties in shopping centers, right? Cross Iron Mills Mall. I don't know if you're familiar with Cross Iron Mills. It's a mall in Western Canada. If you know Vaughan Mills, it's basically Vaughan Mills planted in Alberta, right? Same type of mall. They have the system. They have the system there as well too. So shopping centers and hospitals. We've just recently installed in 5 different hospitals in Eastern Canada as well too, where they are utilizing this to monitor not just their public washrooms in admit areas, but their public washrooms in emerge areas, because they actually have to track and they have to clean them at a certain frequency, and this allows them to have analytics in the background, right, that shows, yes, it was cleaned on the legislative frequency that is required as well too. Numerous installations happening all the time now as well too, as people are learning of the system. So what I'll say is WandaNEXT, I don't know what's going on there. Anyways, is WandaNEXT is good for your business, right? Does it make sense for you? And basically, you know, if we take a look and we say, if you're looking to improve your customer experience, all right, if you're looking to increase efficiency and quality, and you want the ability, right, to measure performance, right, and do all of this while you actually potentially reduce your labor cleaning time and your waste, right, then there's a good chance that this system is for you. We know that with the system, and we've seen this, we've seen it across Iron Mills Mall. It's a great success story. The Edmonton Airport, another great success story as well too, from one of the initial installations, right, where they actually did a little study there where they took 2 washrooms, cleaned them identically, had them all set up beautifully, right? They put the washroom monitor outside of one washroom and not outside the other one. Then they surveyed people on which washroom they thought was the cleaner one. And each washroom was identical, right, and was maintained the same way, but 79% more people thought the washroom with the monitoring system was cleaner and was a better experience, just because of the perception that that the airport was listening to them, right, and was creating that cleaner environment for them. Just what a few of customers across Canada say. Edmonton International Airport, which is currently in Canada, right? Wanda helps us learn from the traffic trends and coordinating staffing, right, so we can use resources properly. Right, again, that's that using that heat mapping, using the understanding of the traffic flow through the different washrooms to be able to set up our cleaning programs effectively around those traffic patterns. Cross Iron Mills Mall, like we talked about as well too, right? Wanda has proven to be extremely valuable for Cross Iron Mills, right, in being able to track, right, and monitor activities related to washroom cleaning, right? The staff learn the system quickly. It's very easy to learn, very easy for staff to operate, very easy for us to get that information and utilize that information as well too. Right? And then Compass Global, who is using the system globally as well too, right? In Europe as well. You know, it's great. It's a Canadian-made solution that's being used worldwide, which is kind of exciting as well too. But Wanda is the perfect answer to monitoring and maintaining the cleanliness of our customers' restrooms. Right? With the Wanda solution, right, we can optimize our ability to track, trend, and expend resources, ensuring that guests receive the most timely service possible. Going through. So I think I might have just a couple of minutes for questions if anybody has any questions at all. Go ahead. It is. Yeah, so connectivity for the system, right, can be through your in-house the Wi-Fi within the building. Also can be cellular connectivity as well too. Right, so yes, wireless connectivity, absolutely. Any other questions at all? Yes, go ahead. You know what's interesting is a question that somebody came by the booth and asked that as well too. Today that's not there, all right? But with the system, this is just the interface, and I was telling the same individual this story before as well too. Just a couple of weeks ago, right? I was demonstrating the system. It was a couple of weeks ago demonstrating the system, and somebody asked me. He says, "Well, can you do just happy faces?" Right? Because you got the happy faces people just want. What was my experience like? And I said, sure. And so I actually got on the phone with Vision State, who is our software provider for this, right? And within about a minute, 30 seconds to a minute, the happy faces came up on the screen, right? So this is the vehicle, right? It's the software in the background, and it's everything in the background, right? That provides the true benefits, all right, for the system itself, right? And importantly, once these are on the wall, right, and updates happen and upgrades happen, because there's a lot of different things that we are working on today that I can't really mention much about right now, but a lot of different things that we're working on going forward, right? Really utilizing that whole Internet of Things, right? And taking washroom dispensers, washroom dispensers you've seen today, there's probably some around here. We have one at our booth, SmartLink from Gojo, which actually transmits and tracks when people use the system. How do we capture all of that, right? And now start to actually be able to automatically transmit when supplies are replaced, right? So using the Internet of Things. So as those technologies improve and as upgrades happen, we're able to push that to the units, right? Wirelessly and remotely. So yes. So to just understand your question is to say that you have something in the washroom like a maintenance issue or a maintenance. Interesting. I don't believe we use it for that today. But there's many different types of alerts we can set up. So for example, when we talked about tracking traffic patterns through the washrooms, right, and using the people counters, right, we can look at that and we can analyze the data and say, okay, this is when we want to have our people in the washrooms, right? Or if it fluctuates too much, what we can do is we can actually set up alerts. So once we see 100 people use the washroom, we get an alert saying 100 people have used that washroom. Right? And now we know we need to send somebody because it's about that 100 people time, or if it's 50 or whatever that number is, it's around that time that we know the washroom is going to need some maintenance, right? It's going to need some cleaning. And so we can police from that standpoint. So where it could go, and that's a great one. I'm going to take that back, actually. That was a great question, right, for tying into that as well, too. Absolutely. Any other questions at all? If you want some more information, you want to see the system, you want to touch it, feel it, play with it a little bit, come see us at booth 503. Bunzl, Canada. We have a number of innovations actually at the booth, even outside of this one here as well too. Thank you very much, everyone, and have yourself a great rest of your show. Enjoy.